I think as of June 2022, Ireland was close to around 10% inflation rate. So it was a big thing, right? So, and just judging by that, there's also a possibility that there might be a recession. I've seen some economic forecast as well saying there might be, recession at some point. And there's another popular research that just come out as well from HFS, and they've said, 60% of employees in the US, close to 60% actually, in the US and the UK, themselves for a recession. What's your take on the balance of inflation and recession happening all at the same time?
Um, I think it is a fact. It is the part that we cannot control, but the only part that we can or business can control was our own kind of like a journey, and hopefully will bring some positive impact to the greater society. Like say for someone working in service industry like me, IT services, my client they really face the biggest challenge since COVID. It was like you mentioned, inflation. All of a sudden, there was enormous pressure to the employee, and the flow effect was around retention, was around the morality, and also it was also around the ability to acquire new talent. That's just one side of the story. On the other hand, for our client or consumer in general, I do see that there's still some hope, something that we can look for. For example, in Australia alone, I do see that there's the term decarbonization no longer something inspirational, kind of like goal. It is real now. If we look at, like say, car, the younger generation, or even literally anyone who want to go and buy a car, they can have some incentive from the government. So it means, like say, all of a sudden we have new demand in the space of, like say, anything with relate to energy, or anything with fossil fuel. I think it can open up a lot of opportunity. That is what I can see. Just like yesterday, the other day, I could not believe that there's such a business now with their job is to install EV charger for high-rise apartment. That job never exists 12 months ago. It has never been exist in Australia, as far as I understand. It was just out of the need from consumer. They said, okay, I buy a new electric vehicle. Okay. And the extreme was just yesterday, I watched it from the news, was the guy, he live in the third floor, and he should plug his car literally from the third floor. He just throw the wire down the balcony and plug into his Tesla car. And said, wow. and here's the crazy part of it. Okay, so the resident need access to the charger, and how much per charger? It could be up to 100,000, because you go through all the paperwork, you go through all the assessment. So there was some business they tackled that challenge, and they gave a quote of about 20,000 per charge, and say, oh, it's so that's for me. It is like say one indicator that we do have certain opportunity that we can definitely leverage. Yeah. So back to the topic, when you talk about inflation and recession, I guess it is the fact that sooner or later, I would say, maybe different level impact, but we have to brace for that kind of like a crash landing at some point. But while we wait for that happen, maybe it is also the time to look for something that you can really you can really tackle on right now.